Yeah, how about those Bears, right? Like just incredibly emotional day. I'm just super proud and happy for our kids. You know, January 19th when we got here, or 18th, whatever it was, and we started this journey. We set some pretty lofty goals, and the first goal in the program each and every year is to win the Southern Conference. And um, the level of buy-in, the commitment, the hard work, the perseverance. And I think what's great about it is this road hadn't been easy. We've won some really tough football games, but to see our kids put it together today, and really leave no doubt, to win the first SoCon championship in school history, to win the second football championship in the last 95 plus years, is just a really special thing to be a part of. I can't thank, I'm as happy as I am for the players on the team, the people that brought football back. Like, I know how much this means to Dr. Underwood and Jim Cole and really Daniel Tate, Brian Garrity. I mean, really everybody in our athletic administration that had a hand in making this possible, making football able to come back. And so to be the one to get us to 10 wins, to be the one to be a part of this with these players and our staff, who I can't say enough of, because they do a lot of the work, and we're just blessed to be here. We're blessed to be champions, and I couldn't be more proud to be their coach today.
Yeah, absolutely. And I know obviously the overall emotion is happy and everything, but when we were first talking, when you first got here, anybody asked, what's the goal? SoCon title, SoCon title.
Yeah.
How does it feel you guys actually crossed that bridge and reached that goal?
I mean, it feels amazing. Again, like, just anytime you set any goal and you put it up and you're not afraid to talk about it. I think that's the thing. Like, you have to set a goal, and then you have to be realistic, and you gotta feed it, right? Like, you have to feed the process that leads to obtaining that goal. And our kids have done that every step of the way. And to be able to accomplish it, because that singular goal carries with it other bonuses, right? Like, you win the SoCon, you get the bid. You get the bid and you win our conference, we should have a bye, I would hope. I believe we're one of the top 8 teams in the country, and I believe we should have a bye when this thing comes out tomorrow, but we'll see where the cards fall. And again, I couldn't be more proud of them for finishing what they started and being who they said they were going to be.
Yeah, absolutely. And then touching on the bid and playoffs and looking forward now, why do you think this team is capable of holding that top 8 seed and getting that bye?
Yeah, because I think we do the small things well that lead to championships. We work hard and we try to be physical at the line of scrimmage. We've done a tremendous job, although we weren't great today, but we've done a great job protecting the football and turning the ball over, and we play great special teams. And I think when you just do those small things, and you believe in them, and you buy in, and you don't get out of sorts if things aren't, the most important play is always the next one. And because of that, I think that leads to confidence in our kids, and I think they're ready to make a run.
Yeah, absolutely. And obviously Furman wasn't just going to hand it over to you guys. Talk
No.
about the wave of emotions that you guys kind of went through before you crossed this line.
Yeah, I think, this league's too good. You see, again, I reference it all the time. A good Wofford team that had a rough record last year upset a really good Furman team late in the last game. We saw Furman play a good ETSU team and beat them last week. So, they do a tremendous job. I got a lot of respect for Coach Hendricks and how he runs his program, how they develop players. They don't just do it through the portal. And so we knew they're going to be well coached. They do the things that we do. They don't, try not to turn the ball over, and they run the ball, and, they do a good job with play and scheme. So, we knew it was going to be a battle. We just didn't want to leave anything for chance today.
Yeah, absolutely. And then what was the message to the team at halftime? I know that you guys were already up. How do you keep the guys focused and be like, we're not there yet, we still have to finish?
Yeah, I mean, the word of the week. The only thing we've talked about is one singular word, and that's finish. And whether it starts with every rep, it feeds into that 1-0 that we talk about all the time. But we want to finish the game. The few things that we had, that they had some success on, were the result of us. They were self-inflicted on our end, whether it be a turnover or not a poor execution or something. And so, had we played clean and just do what we do, we felt pretty good about the outcome going in our favor.
Great. And then talking about, oh wait, sorry, I lost it. Guys, I didn't know I lost it. Oh, now that you finished pretty much the regular season, the preceding schedule, would you describe your first season here at Mercer?
Yeah, I mean, it's just unbelievable. Like, my wife and I and my kids, like we talk all the time. What a blessing the Mercer community's been. What a blessing the Macon community's been. Our family just is fit right in here, and that's, again, it goes back to Jim Cole and the atmosphere that he's built in this athletic department, and Dr. Underwood and what we do on campus. And I just can't say enough about the community, right? And I mean, again, there's just so many people have gone into this, like Charlie Cantrell, like just to see his smile today too, because I know, he's done so much for our program to get us to this point.
Yeah, absolutely. And then I know throughout the entire season we've talked about playing that complete game. We haven't gotten there yet. What else is left on the table for this team?
Yeah, I think just, figuring out who or what we're going to be in the playoffs, and then continuing to get healthy, right? It's week 12, we're a little beat up. So the bye would do us wonders from a health standpoint. And I think it's important for our guys to have Thanksgiving with their family too. So we'll look forward to that. But, we just got to get ready to play. And once you get into the tournament that, listen, we know that because we see it every week in our conference. Like there is no week off. There's no down opponents. And so I feel like our conference really prepares us for the type of teams that we'll see as we head into the FCS playoffs.
Okay, gotcha. And then talking a little bit about your defense today, I know offense was a little bit slow, had some turnovers, things like that. What did it mean for the defense to stay locked in and kind of, I guess, get the wheels turning for the offense?
Yeah, I thought our defense was, I mean, they're who they always are. They're super consistent. We held them to under 100 yards rushing. We gave up a couple big plays with some of our young guys in there late in the game, but all in all, really pleased with their performance. But you take away the turnovers. Listen, we ran the ball for over 200 yards today. Again, we've been a little bit banged up. Keelan Parsons has been in and out some, and obviously Braden Smith hasn't played. But you look at what Ajante Dabbs did today. He had 8 catches for 181 yards, and every week you've seen somebody else step up in that room. And I just, I'm so happy for that kid, right? Like, he hasn't complained about touches or anything like that, and man, he had his biggest game for us in our biggest game, and that's just a testament to his position coach and the coordinators and his readiness.
Yeah, absolutely. And talking about that explosive offense, how does it feel for you as a coach to see Dwayne McGee, cross a huge milestone here at Mercer along with you?
Yeah, I mean, listen, the 1,000-yard season for him is unbelievable. I think he's not too far off the single-season record for here at Mercer, but he's my guy. He really is like a son to me, and we've been through a whole bunch of ups and downs, more ups than downs, but to know that he's going to have a chance to finish his degree here at Mercer, to see his mom today and to see his people, and to know that we've been on this journey for 5+ years with one another, and just means the world. He's like my kid's big brother.
Yeah, absolutely. And then last thing for me, how did it feel like us to get the storybook ending? Last regular season home games, senior night, SoCon title, all wrapped up in one.
Yeah, I mean, it's good. It's like a fairy tale, right? I'm like the handsome prince up here. I feel good about it. So we're ready to roll. I'm so incredibly blessed to be a part of this and to lead this team. And, man, it's the kids and the assistants. It's the strength staff, our training staff that keeps them up and running, the administrative. Like, there's so many pieces that have led to this, and I couldn't be more grateful.
You didn't pull anything dodging the bats at the end of the game because it didn't look like they got you.
No, they got my back a little bit, right? I got a little bit of a sixth sense, right? Like the first time you win one, they get you pretty good, but I kind of sensed it coming. As soon as TJ Moore started dapping me up and moving me backwards, I knew something was coming. So, and I've never moved fast enough to pull a muscle, so we don't got to worry about that.
When did you kind of feel like it was really, the first half was not great, it wasn't bad, but when did you kind of feel like still it's hard?
Yeah, I thought we played well. I think we were up, 18 points or something maybe at halftime. Maybe it was 11. I don't know, but I know we had the big touchdown right before half. I know we got to stop and held them to a field goal, and then we came back out. And again, we had a big run and a big series there, and then Dabbs had a huge contested catch for a touchdown. And again, we just, we settled in and we're getting stops on defense. And, that's what we try to do. We try to just smother folks and try not to make many self-inflicted mistakes.
Other than the 2 fumbles, we had a pretty good game.
Yeah, I thought Whit played well today. Again, I think he's 18 and 28. The one interception there on a nice play by their kid, but he had 257 yards and 3 touchdowns. I mean, again, like you've seen his arm strength all along, but I mean he's progressed so much in the mental aspect of things. And again, I give a lot of credit to DJ Smith too. DJ was banged up, and Witt's been playing good, so we've gone a little bit with the hot hand, but DJ hasn't pouted. He's Witt's biggest fan, and I just think that says a lot about who we are and what our team's about for how he's carried himself.
What were some of the connections with him and Dabs? Something that they saw just the way the game went, or something y'all saw that you knew you could exploit between?
Yeah, I mean, again, we try to develop matchups, and Ajate can run now, man. I mean, he can fly, and he's just begun to catch the ball so much more consistently. I mean, he had 2 of the more contested catches I've seen all year. The one that was the touchdown, and then the one on 3rd and 9 that DJ threw to him. I mean, he peeled that thing right off his shoulder with one arm, and I mean, just incredible play.
You've been waiting for that, or is it a little earlier? Did it come a little earlier than you expected?
What's that?
Waiting for him to have that kind of game.
No, I mean, we got a pretty talented wide receiver room. Creating depth in that room was a big piece of what we wanted to do in recruiting and through the portal. And Dabbs was a guy that was here, and he's just gotten better. Again, I think Devin Figueroa is as good as anybody in the country, coaching and teaching wide receivers, and he's gotten a number of guys ready to roll. And I think you've seen it with, the people that have had big games. It's not just a couple guys. I mean, we've had 5 or 6 players have close to 100 yards in a game. So.
Other than Smith, who else have you been? Who's really banged up? Who really needs this bye week?
Yeah, I mean, all of us, me, the coaches, but just all of us. I mean, 12 games and 12 hard-fought games. Everybody could use a little bit, and we'll still practice. It's not like you just lock the doors and don't come around. We'll go probably 3 days this week, but we'll go really light. We'll do a lot of learning and individual drills, but we'll do everything we can to make sure our guys, like, the worst thing you can do is grind them into the ground and then expect them to be fresh. Like, I want them to feel like they've had all the time in the world off as we get ready for a playoff run.
Big picture, you get 49 points, you're playing your backups almost fourth quarter against Furman in November. You add that all up, that's pretty good. It's kind of not stunning, but that's a pretty big day.
It is. And again, here's the thing with Furman. Again, they had so much roster rollover. I can't say it enough, the respect I have for them. And, what you're going to have is they got a bunch of guys that are freshmen and redshirt freshmen that are playing for them right now. In 2 or 3 years, they're going to be good again, maybe sooner, because these guys are battle tested. And although they haven't had the breaks go their way a bunch this year, they've made people work for it. And again, just a ton of respect for them.
Just pure football, what did you like the most out of what you saw? Be it offense, be it defense, be it special teams response?
Listen, we ran the ball when the plays didn't go our way or the calls didn't go our way. We played the next play, and when you got the entire campus community out in the field getting to celebrate something that so many people have worked for, it's just special.
Any surprises today? Either any kids? You had your 4th or 5th running back stood out a little bit.
Yeah, again, Billy Martin. I mean, listen, the cool thing is no one in our team's surprised because we watch them do it in practice. Like, the great thing about playing younger guys is they get an opportunity. Everyone in this program has a role, and everyone's role is different. And some guys' role is to make sure that we're ready to play each and every week. And so when those guys get an opportunity to actually play in the game and then they have success, I mean, his teammates were hooting and hollering down there.
That's almost as much fun as winning for players to see backups.
It is. Yeah, because again, man, like, listen, everybody has a role and everybody has a piece in what we've done and what we've accomplished this year.
How was practice this week? Were y'all sharp?
Yeah, I thought it was pretty sharp. Yeah, I mean, for the most part, listen, I'm hard to please, and so I always think things can be better, but I thought we had an edge about us. I thought really how they handled themselves in the last 24 hours was impressive coming into the game, preparing for the game. So, yeah, I knew we were going to be ready to play.
And you've never had to deal with any, your table was set. You knew what was going to happen. Not a lot of suspense, but complacency was not going to be an issue.
No, you can't. The last thing you want to do is try to springboard yourself into the NCAA playoffs and not play well in your last home game, right? Like you lose a little bit of that panache and stuff if you're out there holding the trophy after you lose the game, even though you know you're getting it. And so, to play and to play well and to leave no doubt and to do what we said we did, which was we were going to finish, and we're just proud to do it for Mercer.
Who do you get back for the first game, injury-wise?
Huh?
Who else has been out injury-wise?
Yeah, there's just been a bunch. It's a combination of injury and it's a combination of trying to use that 4-game redshirt rule. And so the good thing is the NCAA has given us a little bit of a reprieve, and playoff games don't count against that redshirt rule. So we'll get a few of those guys back, especially special teams depth-wise. As we are able to use some of the redshirted kids.
What time do you think you'll get to sleep tonight?
I don't know. We got recruiting, right? We're gonna go enjoy this. They moved the signing day up, so we got about 11 official visitors and their family on campus today, and we're gonna go enjoy them and our families. And at some point later this evening, I'll get a chance to sit down and relax and catch my breath and check my phone. But I wouldn't have it any other way. I'm just super proud of these guys.
Would you go back and watch any of the tape tonight just to watch it again?
No, listen, man, I firmly believe in the 24-hour rule. I'll dwell and stew on some losses usually, but these wins, I'm a full believer in the 24-hour rule, and I'll watch that thing tomorrow morning after our exit meetings. Guys, I appreciate y'all. Thank you.
Yeah, she's out there just
Cruising.
yeah.
Do I need to put anything on?
I'll
Oh,
go ahead and start. Was practice pretty sharp this week? You could see something like this coming?
Yeah, like Coach had said, we reiterated the word finish over and over again today. And this week, everything we were breaking it down on finish in the weight room, at practice. And I'm the center, so challenging the guys up front. Today was my senior day. It was my 57th game in a row here. Set the Mercer record, they said. So, I the whole back of my mind, I've been here for those past 4 years, where we've been close almost every year, and it's all been about finish, finish, finish. It's here, like Coach would say, our O-line coach would say, it's dangling right here in your heads. You guys just got to grab it and go out and grasp it. So that's what it was today, go out and finish.
To do what y'all did, just, Mercer, Furman's not as good as normal talent-wise, but, beat them soundly. You got your backups playing most of the fourth quarter. The game's kind of over in the middle of the third quarter. You being here as long as you've been here, is that taking a long time for that game to end so you can start celebrating? Or are you taking it every minute because you don't want to take off your uniform?
I'm kind of taking it in. I'm watching the guys. This was the last regular season game, but we've earned the right to play another home game here. So it's kind of I got another one here. I get to play another game here at 5-star. And also at the end of the game, I was just excited to see some of them guys play. Some of the guys, they mess with me, calling me the old man. They're like, man, go get a job. Come on, it's my turn. And I've been here forever playing. So just enjoying every minute of it. And then when that clock did it, it was kind of oh my gosh, it's we did it. It's over. We finished it. We accomplished our goal. Now on to the next.
What did you like most about how the offense? What on offense did you like the most that you saw for y'all?
I like when Coach wanted to run the ball, put it on our backs, and we were able to run the ball. And then it's also nice, too, when drop back on a play and Witt can sling it down the field. And even DJ, when he went in there, too, making big plays. And as long as we're giving them time, we got the guys that can make some plays.
Did you start to think worried a little bit when they hit a 57-yard field goal?
I was kind of
Furman might be coming back a little bit.
Well, in the warm-ups, guys been out in the pregame field, and they're like, man, he's kicking for about 60 yards. And I was like, okay, so maybe he'll have some distance on him. So it was kind of all right, good job. But I felt like we were in control. We could do what we needed to do, and just staying consistent on that.
I'm kind of thinking when in that middle of the third quarter, I think it was 42-16, is when that sideline's going to start loosening up. Helmets come off. Is that when it kind of started? this is ours.
So, yeah, we did that. It was once we scored that touchdown, and then before we went back on the field, before the coach told us, he's like, y'all need to score again. So we knew we were going to be up there in the O-line. We were going to be playing. So we left it all out there. And then once that was over, it was kind of like, all right, time to celebrate now once we scored that last touchdown.
How late do you think you're going to be up tonight? As tired as you may be.
Yeah, I think 3 a.m. maybe.
It'll be a while.
Yeah, I'll be up. I'll be ready for
If
the
there was a
for the show
curfew,
tomorrow.
that'd
Yeah. Good thing we got a bye week.
No curfews on a bye week.
There might be a
Not
curfew
really.
throughout the week. Yeah.
Flexible.
Yeah.
I'm good.
Good.
Okay, I got just a few for you.
Okay.
So, being here for so long, being from this community, Central Georgia, things like that, what does it mean to you to finally reach such a huge milestone here in Mercer?
I mean, seeing like the guys I've played with, 'cause I've played as a true freshman. You're seeing the guys 4 or 5 years ago, they're out there celebrating, standing there cheering you on, and it's just guys that's like, man, like we've all worked so hard for this, and all the time, the sweat, and stuff that we've put into this. And then I live here in Macon too, and my neighbors and stuff, they're joking like, oh, you guys win a championship, Mercer's gonna be buying, like, expanding a little bit. So it's been just like everybody buying in. I mean, I go to the grocery store, people high-fiving me like, hey, keep it up. And I mean, just seeing this community and everybody rally around, especially here at the game, like after the game, everybody on the field, it was just really cool to see it all finally reach that goal, being so close so many years.
Yeah, and then I guess kind of completing the regular season, what is something people should know about Mercer football this year?
I think we're going to be a blue-collar, hard-nosed football team that's going to try and do everything right. We're going to fight till the end. I mean, you saw it against Stanford when we were down. We came back, we fought. Seeing against Alabama, we're not going to back down. We're going to fight and give it our all. Thank you.
Thank you.
Thank you.
Thanks.
Ready?
You're one of the old men too.
Yes, sir.
So it's hard to wipe that smile off your face.
Yes, sir, it is. I mean, I'm at a loss for words, really. Just being here so long and just all the work you put in and just the countless hours. It's great to see everything come to fruition. Great to see everything pay off.
How did y'all play today, you think? Defense.
Defensively, I think we did a pretty good job. I mean, we knew they were going to want to come in and try to establish the run game. And I think for the most part, we stifled it, try to make them a little more one-dimensional, and they start throwing the ball a little more. But overall, we had a defensive touchdown. I think that was at a great point in the game to kind of shift the tide, shift the momentum, and get us going in the right direction. But collectively, I think we did pretty good. We understood the assignment. We knew what we had to do, and I just think we executed well today.
Even a little bit early on, a little sluggish start. Y'all felt like in control. They took an early lead, but then you tied it and kind of went from there. Did you ever feel like they were a threat? At least the first half.
I just felt like on our part, when they had their success, I felt like it came from some miscues on our end. Maybe not so much of what they did, but I think once we kind of settled down and understood the assignment, had better eyes, just playing within our scheme and playing our brand of football, I think we were able to counter those effects and just keep them out of the end zone as much as possible.
As an old guy, how worried were you the younger guys might be a little bit, a little not cocky, but all right, we got we're in, we're gonna be conference champs, that they might not be as sharp as you need.
I'm not as worried because there's been a lot of buy-in, especially from the younger guys, and that's great to see. Anytime you have a team that you have so many young guys and you have these older guys like trickling out, and you see them have more and more buy-in, I mean, it's great to see. I think the team is headed in the right direction, But I'm not worried about those guys at all.
This was really kind of a normal game for y'all, wasn't it?
Yeah, I mean, Coach Jacobs might have mentioned it earlier, but it feels like most of our games during the season have that playoff caliber atmosphere, and all the games through the season have prepared us really for this moment. So even when we were down, or even when there may have been turnovers, or the ball didn't really go our way, we were able to rally around each other and just keep playing, because at the end of the day, that's what it's going to take in the playoffs.
And, as a veteran, that's a kind of hard thing to have that short memory
Yeah.
a lot and play that next play. Because there's a lot of times there's a hangover for a play or a series. Is that kind of the biggest thing that you take away from this year? Is that ability as
Yeah.
a team, all three units being able to? It didn't happen.
Yeah, that's probably one of our greatest assets. Just have that next play mentality, because we know nobody's going to be perfect. Everybody's going to make mistakes. You might get beat. You might give something up, but hey, just live to play another down. Just have that short-term memory, like you said. Just give us another chance to be successful on the next play.
When did you look at the scoreboard and think, this is it? Start where you can't stop smiling and thinking.
I tried to contain myself. I didn't want to let my emotions get the best of me, because I seen games go a lot of different ways once you let off the gas or once you ease up. So probably about 7 minutes of the fourth quarter, somewhere around there. It had to be the fourth quarter before I actually eased up a little bit.
When you think about it, to be able to do that in November against Furman with something on the line, that's a pretty good statement for y'all to kind of crushed and never let it back in the game.
Yeah, and they are a great team. They do some great things in all three phases of the game. Hats off to them. A great opponent. Anytime you can do what you did today, especially like you said late in the season, in a game like this type of atmosphere is great.
Because they're coming in here wanting to
Yeah, they
bring
come.
y'all down the sides.
Yeah, coming in here, we knew what was at stake. Trying to kind of be like the message just being like selfish, so to speak, not wanting to share a piece of the conference, just trying to go out and take or earn what you've been working so hard for in the off season.
I'm good.
All right. So now that we are excited, you guys did the thing. Tomorrow you find out your playoff fate. I guess, how are you feeling? I know you're still coming up with a great high of this, but how are you feeling kind of going into that? That's the next part.
Like you said, it's a big high to come off of. First time doing this in school history, so I think once we get all our celebrating over with tonight, we can kind of gear our focus towards, okay, we just closed one chapter of our season, and it's time to start a new chapter, and it's time to refocus and do any and everything necessary to make this deepest playoff run we can.
Yeah. And do you guys, and obviously coming into this one, it was either co or complete,
Yeah.
right? So now that you, I guess, cross the finish line and are the complete SoCon champs, do you think you guys walk into that selection show tomorrow with even more confidence?
Yeah, I definitely do. I think we have even more confidence just knowing that we came into a game that wasn't going to be given to us. We had to go out and take and fight for what we really wanted. And like you said, being it just wasn't good enough, We wanted to get everything out, exhaust every option.
Yeah, absolutely. Furman obviously wasn't going to just give it to
Yeah,
you
they
guys.
just-
So talk about this senior night and everything, a lot on the line, but it was kind of like a roller coaster of emotions for a football game.
Yeah.
How was it for you?
Just understanding that I've been here for a long time, but just understanding that this is my last senior night. But like you said, the playoffs coming up, so hopefully we'll get another home game. But just understanding everything, just coming full circle, taking advantage of our moment, taking advantage of our opportunities, because one day they will run out. And it was just a great experience. Like you said, we knew Furman wasn't just going to lay down. We knew it was going to be, at least in the beginning, it was going to be a hard-nosed game until you insert some type of dominance.
Yeah. And then how would you describe this kind of ending for your last regular season here at Mercer? Is it kind of expected? Is it like the storybook ending that you wanted?
It probably would be a storybook ending because years prior, it's like we come close, but we weren't there. And like last year, we first time making the playoffs, but we didn't have a Southern Conference championship. So everything, and then you have like individual accolades and accomplishments and stuff like that. So it's like you're reaching all these other goals, but you never really got the one, and that's the SoCon championship. So I do think it's a storybook ending.